Then we come to pranayama, control of vital forces. The restraint of all modifications of the mind by regarding all mental states like chitta as Brahman alone is called pranayama. We are listening first time the different definition of pranayama. The restraint of all modifications of the mind by regarding all mental states like chitta as Brahman alone is called pranayama. That is, all our mind modifications is called pranayama. I think, are we not listening the new definition for pranayama today? Yes. One thing is not mine. It is once again Shankara's. Verse number 118. He further goes in another two verses. You know that Puraka, Rechaka and Kumbhaka, is it not so? Pranayama. Generally, right? Inhale, exhale and middle you can also hold. Is it not so? Pranayama. He explains it in a different manner. What he says is, I am truly Brahman is called Puraka, breathing in. I am verily Brahman is a word used here. Truly Brahman is the Puraka. Then the negation of the phenomenal world is Rechaka, breathing out. I am Brahman is Puraka. Negation of the world, phenomenal Apurva world is Rechaka. The thought and steadiness of that thought is called Kumbhaka. Interesting, na? I repeat. I am verily Brahman is Puraka. Rechaka is negating the world. This is not illusory. That is Rechaka, exhalation. And Kumbhaka is thought. Thought, and that thought is steadiness of thought, is Kumbhaka. This is the real course of pranayama for the enlightened. But Shankara tells something else. The breath is dependent on the mind, not that mind depends on the breath. So that instead of frittering away one's energy in the attempt of restraining the breath, one should try to control the mind. Then breath comes to control. When this is accomplished, the restraint of the breath will follow as a matter of course. Needs some explanation here. By controlling the breath, mind is controlled, is normal belief. What he said is, you control the mind. That is, you concentrate on one thought. At first, thoughtless is different. Control the mind, then breathe controls by itself. All of us can experience it. We haven't observed it. Who are in mantra yoga? We just do some pranayama in the beginning. That's okay. That's a cleansing the airways. That's all. That's not pranayama. Just afterwards, you sin for dhyana, mantra yoga. Your mind is full with mantra only, nothing else. Then if you have any measure, to measure the breath, just try. You have not done any breath control here. It's that no, we are doing it, but we have not observed it. Sit for mantra, do it moment, I am sure. You do about 20, 30, enough. It breath is controlled. So Shankara is right. You control the mind, your breath comes to control by itself. We are having it, we are experiencing it, but first time we are told, that's all. It's happening to us. Everybody experienced it, I am sure. who are in some kind of mantra yoga having experienced it, no doubt. But they might not have observed it. Definitely it comes down, no doubt. Then pratyahara. What is this? This is very interesting. The absorption of the mind in the supreme consciousness by realizing Atman in all the objects is known as pratyahara. The absorption of mind in the supreme Brahman, which is consciousness, in all objects. You realize the Brahman in all objects is pratyahara, which should be practiced by seekers of liberation. If you want liberation, practice that. You absorb our mind. We should absorb our mind, the supreme consciousness, by realizing Atman in all objects. That is pratyahara.